Power isn't in being loud, it's in being unshakable. Sigma ladies, let's cut through the noise. Understanding men isn't about decoding their words, it's about recognizing their instincts. When a Sigma female, independent, self-sufficient and unbothered by validation, truly understands how men operate, the entire game shifts in her favor. See, most women are conditioned to react to men rather than observe them. They chase, overthink, or fall into the trap of seeking clarity where there is only confusion. But a Sigma female? She doesn't play that game. She watches, she learns, and she moves accordingly. And that's why she holds a different kind of power. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about mastering your presence so that you are the challenge, not the prize waiting to be claimed. Because when a Sigma female moves differently, men respond differently. They step up or step aside. So today, we're diving deep into the psychology of men and how understanding their nature allows you to navigate relationships and interactions with a level of confidence most women never reach. We're talking about behavioral patterns, emotional responses, and attraction dynamics that shift when a Sigma female understands the unspoken rules. And before we get started, if you're ready to operate on a higher frequency and embrace your true power, subscribe now and join the Sigma Ladies movement. 1. The silent code. Men speak in actions, not words. A Sigma female naturally understands the language of action. She isn't fooled by poetic words or empty promises because she's wired to watch, not just listen. And here's what sets her apart. She knows that a man's true thoughts, feelings, and intentions aren't revealed through what he says, but through what he consistently does. This is a game changer because most women are conditioned to believe words over actions. They fall for charm, for sweet talk, for long late-night conversations filled with future plans that never materialize. But you see beyond the illusion. Let's break it down. A man who respects and values you will naturally align his actions with his words. If he tells you he's serious about you, you won't have to wonder about his commitment. It will be evident in his consistency. He won't cancel plans last minute. He won't disappear for days and come back with weak excuses, and he won't make promises he doesn't intend to keep. On the flip side, a man who keeps you guessing isn't unclear because he's confused. He's unclear because he's keeping his options open. And a Sigma female, she doesn't tolerate ambiguity. She moves accordingly. This is where detachment becomes your superpower. You don't emotionally invest in words, you invest in patterns. If a man consistently makes you feel uncertain about where you stand, he's showing you exactly how much you matter to him. And instead of begging for clarity, you do what most women struggle with. You walk away with confidence. This is why men respect Sigma females differently. They know that their words hold no power over you unless they are backed by real effort. And once you make that shift, you will never waste energy on mixed signals again. 2. The chase is biological, not personal. A Sigma female doesn't chase. She is chased. But to understand why, you need to grasp the biological foundation of why men are wired to pursue rather than be pursued. Let's get real. Men are hunters by nature. Evolutionarily, they have always been wired to earn what they value. This is why the moment something feels too easily obtained, it automatically loses intrinsic worth in their minds. This isn't about games, it's about psychology. The problem: most women misunderstand the chase. They think that playing hard to get means being unavailable, dismissive, or rude. That's not what makes a Sigma female stand out. What truly separates her is her ability to remain unattached to male validation. See, when most women like a man, they instinctively start giving more attention, more time, more effort, hoping to secure his affection. A Sigma female does the opposite. She remains in her own frame. She doesn't prove her worth. She exists in a way that makes it undeniable. This means she doesn't initiate excessive contact, not because she's trying to be distant, but because she's genuinely occupied with her own life. She doesn't over-invest before a man has demonstrated consistent effort over time. She doesn't seek clarity. If a man is interested, his pursuit will make it obvious. And here's the twist. Men respect and desire what they have to work for. This is why the chase is not personal, it's wired into them. A Sigma female understands that the moment she becomes too available, the challenge is gone. And once the challenge disappears, so does his instinct to win her over. This is why men become obsessed with Sigma females. They feel like they are pursuing something rare, not because she's playing a role, but because her self-sufficiency naturally makes her less accessible. And here's the key takeaway. The chase doesn't mean ignoring men or being distant. It means maintaining your own value by never overextending for a man who hasn't proven himself worthy of your energy. 3. Respect is the currency of influence. Unlike others, you don't seek approval, you demand respect without even asking, and that's why men treat you differently. A man may desire a woman for a moment, but if he doesn't respect her, she's forgettable. Now let's get into why respect is more powerful than attraction. The biggest mistake most women make is believing that love alone will keep a man engaged. It won't. A man can be attracted to a woman and still not take her seriously. He can love spending time with her, but never truly see her as someone worthy of commitment. Why? Because respect is the foundation of influence. If a man respects you, he won't disrespect your boundaries, make you an option while keeping other women in rotation, play games with your time and energy. On the other hand, if a man doesn't respect you, he will test your limits. He will push boundaries to see how much you tolerate. And a Sigma female, she never tolerates disrespect. Here's what most women don't realize. Respect isn't demanded, it's earned through how you carry yourself. A Sigma female doesn't have to tell a man to respect her. He naturally does because she moves in a way that makes it non-negotiable. And once you master this, you don't just influence men, you set the standard they rise to. 4. Men crave purpose more than romance. A Sigma female understands one thing most women overlook. A man's deepest fulfillment doesn't come from romance. It comes from his purpose. This means that no matter how much he cares about you, his ambitions, mission, and goals will always hold priority in his life. This truth can either work for you or against you, depending on how you approach it. The mistake most women make. Many women believe that the more they make a man their focus, the more he will appreciate them. They try to be his reason for happiness, his motivation, his everything. But here's what really happens. Instead of feeling inspired, the man feels pressure. Instead of feeling admiration, he feels expectation. Instead of chasing his purpose, he feels trapped in an emotional obligation. The result: he starts distancing himself because, deep down, he knows he wasn't meant to live for a woman. He was meant to live for a mission. How a Sigma female plays it differently. A Sigma female doesn't try to become a man's purpose. She has her own purpose, and that's exactly what makes her magnetic. Instead of pulling him away from his mission, she supports it while staying committed to her own path. This means she respects his grind rather than resents it. She never makes him choose between his ambition and her. She understands they can coexist. She doesn't demand constant validation because she's already secure in herself. The irony: the less you try to be a man's main focus, the more he values you. When he sees that you aren't trying to derail him from his goals, but instead inspire him to level up, he naturally associates you with progress. And when a man feels like having you in his life makes him better, he doesn't just keep you around, he prioritizes you. 5. Emotional intelligence is a superpower, not a weakness. Most women try to force men into emotional vulnerability, but a Sigma female understands a deeper truth. Men aren't taught to express their emotions openly. They are taught to suppress, control, and avoid them. But here's the twist. That doesn't mean they don't feel deeply. Why men struggle with emotions. From a young age, most men are conditioned to believe expressing feelings makes weakness. Vulnerability equals losing control. Talking about emotions equals unmanly. This means that while they might crave emotional connection, they don't always know how to navigate it. And this is where most women go wrong. They demand openness instead of creating an environment where it naturally happens. How a Sigma female handles it differently. A Sigma female never forces a man to talk. Instead, she creates a space of emotional safety where he feels comfortable opening up, observes his non-verbal emotional cues instead of waiting for verbal validation, doesn't judge or react impulsively when he finally lets his guard down. Here's what happens when a man feels emotionally safe with you. He lets you in more than he does with anyone else. He starts trusting your presence rather than feeling like he has to put up a front. He associates you with peace, not pressure, and that's what keeps him coming back. The biggest power move, not taking his emotional distance personally. A Sigma female understands that when a man withdraws, it's not always about her, it's often about his own internal battles. And because she doesn't chase or panic, she becomes the one woman he respects enough to open up to. 6. Confidence outranks beauty. Every time. In a world where beauty is celebrated, confidence remains the rarest trait. And this is why a Sigma female stands out effortlessly, because her confidence isn't dependent on external validation. Why confidence is more powerful than looks. Let's get real. Attraction isn't just about physical beauty. Men might notice a beautiful woman, but they remember the one who carries herself like she's the prize. Here's what makes confidence magnetic. It signals high self-worth. You aren't looking for a man to validate you. It creates mystery. You aren't trying to be liked, which makes people intrigued by you. It naturally raises your standards. You don't tolerate half-effort because you know what you bring to the table. How a Sigma female embodies confidence. A Sigma female doesn't need to prove her value. She exists in a way that makes it undeniable. This means she never competes for attention. Attention naturally comes to her. She sets boundaries without hesitation, knowing that the right man will respect them. She doesn't fear rejection. She knows that what isn't meant for her will always fall away. And here's the irony. Because she isn't seeking male approval, men chase her harder. They feel the difference between a woman who is waiting to be chosen and one who chooses herself first. The bottom line? Confidence is the silent language of high value, and a Sigma female speaks it fluently. 7. Men respect boundaries, not pleasing. One of the defining traits of a Sigma female is that she doesn't bend just to be liked. While many women fall into the trap of people-pleasing, thinking it will win them favor, a Sigma female understands a deeper truth. Respect is built through boundaries, not by trying to make everyone happy. Why most women struggle with boundaries? Many women are conditioned to believe that being agreeable, accommodating, and always available will make them more desirable. They think that by saying yes to everything a man wants, they will secure his love. But here's what really happens. He stops seeing her as a challenge. He starts taking her for granted. He assumes she will always be available, no matter how little effort he puts in. Men don't respect pushovers. They respect women who have self-respect. How a Sigma female handles boundaries. A Sigma female doesn't hesitate to enforce boundaries. She knows that the fastest way to lose respect is to compromise on things that matter just to keep someone around. Here's how she moves differently. She says no without guilt because she values her own time and energy. She doesn't tolerate half effort. If a man is inconsistent, he loses access to her. She makes it clear through actions, not words, that her boundaries are non-negotiable. And here's the twist. Men don't pull away from women with strong boundaries. They chase them harder, because when a man sees a woman who won't lower her standards, he automatically respects her more. 8. Mystery is a cheat code for attraction. One of the biggest mistakes women make in relationships is revealing too much, too soon. They think that the more they share, the closer they will become with a man. But what they don't realize is that predictability kills intrigue. Men are natural problem solvers. If they feel like they have completely figured you out, they start losing interest. Why mystery works on men. Men are wired to pursue challenges. If something comes too easily, they don't value it as much. What is rare is more desirable. If you reveal everything up front, you lose the power of exclusivity. Anticipation fuels attraction. When a man is constantly wondering about you, he stays engaged. How a Sigma female uses mystery to her advantage. A Sigma female understands the art of revealing just enough, but never too much. She allows a man to discover her in layers, rather than giving him access to everything all at once. This means she doesn't overshare about her personal life too soon. She leaves some things unanswered, allowing his curiosity to grow. She keeps her emotions in check, never being too predictable in her reactions. When a man feels like there's always more to learn about you, he stays invested, not because he's confused, but because he's intrigued. 9. Masculinity needs a challenge to stay engaged. A Sigma female understands a fundamental truth about men. They thrive on challenge. The moment something becomes too easy, they stop valuing it. Men don't just chase women for fun. They chase because it activates a deep psychological need to earn what they desire. The mistake most women make. Many women assume that once they have a man's attention, they no longer need to challenge him. They get comfortable, stop being unpredictable, and lose the edge that made him chase them in the first place. But here's the reality. A man might be drawn to a woman's looks, but he stays for her ability to challenge his mind, emotions, and ambitions. How a Sigma female keeps a man engaged. A Sigma female never stops being a challenge, not in a toxic way, but in a way that makes a man continuously work to earn her attention and respect. She does this by keeping her independence intact. She never becomes too reliant on a man for happiness. Challenging his mindset, she isn't afraid to debate, question, or push him to think deeper. Avoiding predictability, she keeps interactions fresh and exciting rather than falling into routines. Men stay engaged not just because of attraction, but because they feel like they are constantly evolving in your presence. And this is why a Sigma female holds a different kind of power. She doesn't just attract men, she keeps them intrigued for the long haul. The mirror reflex effect. 10. The energy you give is the energy you attract. One of the most overlooked truths about relationships is that the energy you operate from determines the kind of men you attract. Why desperate energy repels men. When a woman operates from a place of neediness, she unknowingly sends the message that she requires external validation to feel secure, overgives and overinvests before a man has earned it, accepts bare minimum effort because she is afraid of losing him. Men can sense this energy, even if it's not spoken aloud, and the harsh truth, it makes them pull away. A Sigma female, however, operates from abundance, not scarcity. She doesn't act like she needs a man. She moves like she chooses who is worthy of her time. How a Sigma female attracts high-value men. Because a Sigma female is naturally self-sufficient, the men she attracts are different. She doesn't pull in men who are looking for an easy win. She attracts men who respect independence, value depth, and appreciate a woman who is selective. Here's how her energy shifts the dynamic. She doesn't chase. She allows men to step up and prove their worth. She doesn't settle for inconsistency. If a man isn't showing up fully, she moves on. She doesn't beg for commitment. She attracts it effortlessly because men see her as rare and valuable. The moment you start carrying yourself with certainty, self-worth, and quiet confidence, you no longer attract players, time wasters, or emotionally unavailable men. You attract men who are serious, secure, and intentional. 11th, time reveals, pressure exposes. If you want to truly understand a man's character, don't listen to his words. Watch how he handles time and pressure. Time shows you who he is. A Sigma female never rushes into commitment because she understands that a man's true self is revealed through time, not chemistry. Consistency over time tells you if he is truly reliable. Patterns of behavior show you if he is emotionally mature or just playing a role. How he acts when he doesn't need anything from you reveals if his intentions are genuine. Time naturally filters out low-effort men because eventually the ones who are inconsistent will stop trying. Pressure exposes his true nature. Most women evaluate men based on how they act when things are good, but a Sigma female watches how a man handles setbacks, stress, and failure. Does he take accountability, or does he shift blame? Does he stay calm under pressure, or does he lash out? Does he remain loyal during hard times, or does he pull away? A Sigma female understands that a man's reaction under pressure is his real personality. Everything else is just presentation. And once she sees a man's true colors, she adjusts accordingly, without second chances, without over-explaining, and without hesitation. 12. When a man truly wants you, there's no confusion. One of the biggest ways Sigma females stand apart is that they never entertain uncertainty. They understand a fundamental truth about men. If a man truly wants you, you will never have to question it. Why women struggle with clarity. Many women waste time over-analyzing mixed signals, trying to decode what a man's behavior means. They wonder, if he likes me, why is he inconsistent? Why does he text me one day and disappear the next? Why do I feel like I'm always the one putting in the effort? The reality, if a man is confusing you, he's not serious about you. How a Sigma female handles this differently. A Sigma female never overthinks a man's behavior. She reads the signs and moves accordingly. If he's inconsistent, she doesn't make excuses. She removes herself. If he's hesitant, she doesn't wait around. She focuses on her own path. If he's serious, she lets his actions speak louder than words. There is no need to chase, ask for clarity, or overextend, because when a man truly wants you, his effort will make it obvious. And if it's not obvious, it's not real. Sigma ladies, once you truly understand men at their core, everything changes. You no longer chase approval because you already know your worth. Settle for half effort because you know what real commitment looks like. Waste time on confusion because a man's actions always tell the truth. Instead, you attract respect effortlessly by enforcing boundaries. Command attention without trying because your confidence is unshakable. Only entertain high-value men who step up fully and intentionally. This is the mindset shift that most women never make. But once you do, you start operating on a different level. The moment you stop playing by society's rules and start moving like a woman who already has everything she needs, you become unstoppable. Men will adjust to your standards, or they will walk away, and either outcome is a win for you. If you're ready to level up your mindset and step into your full power, subscribe now and join the Sigma Ladies movement. Because in this space, we don't conform, we lead. See you in the next one.